Hello, I'm Vinny, and this is MakiChat 9. I'm running out of fingers. So I posted the ukulele video last week, and I got lots of good positive responses to that. That is always nice. The ukulele. Just want to briefly talk about some design considerations when I designed this and made this. So there's lots of information out there on the internet about making simple like cigar box instruments and simple instruments like that. And of course there's lots of information about making, fine handcrafted instruments. But I felt there wasn't a lot of information about instruments that kind of fell between those two extremes. So I set out to make this kind of somewhere between that. A little nicer than a simple cigar box instrument, but something that someone could make who didn't want to put in the time or effort. I didn't have the tools or skills to make a, fine, handcrafted, professional, nice instrument. And so I think I succeeded in that. This is a little nicer than a simple cigar box instrument, but it's not super fancy, but it does sound pretty good, I think. The body was made from lumber that you can get at, like a big box home center, Home Depot, Lowe's, one of those kinds of places. The neck, originally, I was gonna make from wood from one of those places. In fact, I bought the wood. This is, it's 1x3 red oak that I got at one of those stores. And I mentioned this in the video, but I was gonna cut this and glue it together to get the thickness I needed for the neck. But I was at the hardwood dealer getting other wood, and I noticed that they had this piece of white oak that was nearly perfect to make a neck out of, and it was like $4. So I went with that to save myself a little bit of trouble in just gluing this up. But you certainly could do it that way if you don't have a hardwood dealer near you, or you just don't like going to those type of places. If you don't have a bandsaw, you could actually make this neck simpler than what I did. Instead of having this head kind of angled down, you could just have this flat. So on a board like this, you could just cut this square with just a hand saw or a miter saw or something. And I've done that in the past, and it works just fine. It doesn't look quite as nice, but perfectly functional. So if you did it that way, all the tools you really would need would be a miter box, just like a simple, one of these plastic miter box and saws that you can get all over the place. They're not very expensive. And a drill, really, and some sandpaper. And that's all the tools you really would need. So you could make this nicer if you wanted, pretty easily. And I used these bolts for the nut and the bridge, but you could make or buy a bone nut. You could make, or you can even buy nice hardwood bridge. You could use real fret wire for the frets. It's easy to do. Probably want the top you could make thinner, or make it not out of plywood. Plywood's not probably the best thing for the top, but this thing turned out pretty well as it is. I'm happy with it. So I mentioned in the last MakiChat video that the files for that ukulele video were taking up a lot of space because I was shooting in 4K at a bit rate of 100 megabits per second. And it turns out all the video clips for that project took up 149 gigabytes. And that doesn't include the clips that I ended up deleting because I didn't make the final cut. That's a lot of space. So I went through and rearranged partitions on my hard drive and gave myself 2 terabytes for my videos. But even that, at 149 gigabytes per project, that's going to eat up 2 terabytes pretty quickly, 10, 15 projects or so. So Scrapwood City left a comment, and his opinion that, it's just not really worth it to upload 4K video to YouTube. And I tend to agree with him for several reasons, mainly because I just don't think there are very many people who are watching YouTube videos on 4K devices, in full screen, full 4K. I don't even own a 4K capable device, and I typically don't watch YouTube videos in full screen, and I think that's probably pretty common. Plus, you know, 1080 videos still look good on 4K screens. And my computer really struggles to edit 4K video. I mean, editing that ukulele video was unpleasant. So for those reasons, I've decided to go back to shooting in 1080. Luckily, this new camera, shoots really good quality 1080, and even if you watched it full screen on a 4K device, I think the videos will still look good. I can always change my mind later and start shooting in 4K again. In fact, I might do that for some shorter videos, I don't know. But for now, I think I'm gonna shoot in 1080, make my life a lot easier, save some hard drive space, and you know, the quality, I think, will still be very good. Future projects, if you notice, I have all my big tools up on the workbench at the moment. That it's because I am cleaning this room. It desperately needed to be cleaned. It'll be a good opportunity to shoot the shop tour video that I've been talking about for a while. So I plan on shooting that this week and hopefully have that video up next week. So I have 3 projects in mind that I want to do. All 3 of those are still kind of in the design phase. I'm not sure which project I'll actually start working on first, but I have plenty of project ideas, so look for more project videos coming up. So that's all I have for this time. I hope you liked the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Oh, I don't need to do that anymore. So all the wood from the body you could get at no. Future projects. Let's go with no. I hope you liked the video. Just want to ukulele. Start over.